Welcome to Big Blue's exploration. Today you join me from Zhao Onsen, which is about an hour by bus from Yamagata, about an hour and a half from Sendai, a major port city on the top right hand side of the map of Honshu, the main island of Japan. Very famous for snow monsters. So basically, because of the wind that comes off the ocean and round the peaks at the top of this very high mountain, the droplets of snow turn into skirts on each tree, and then they layer and layer and layer until you get something resembling what might look like a snow monster. At this time of the year when I visited, unfortunately they had already melted, but generally in January and February you get the full effect of hundreds and thousands of these snow monster looking things while you ski between them. It was a bit warmer when I did visit, so the snow was maybe a little bit less than normal, but there was some patches that had great snow and it wasn't that busy, so it felt like a really good place to visit. It's in the adjacent to Miyagi Prefecture in Japan, and is very accessible with bullet train to Yamagata Station from Tokyo, or coming down from Hokkaido if you're going there first. The skiing itself, lots of really long runs, well maintained, great amount of lifts. Some were quite old, but they do have a lot of bubbles, aerial trams, and normal cable cars, meaning fast access with lots of capacity. When I went, it was kind of towards the end of what they would say is the best part of the season, but the weather was wonderful, and I had plenty of chances to zip up and down the slopes. So the video you're watching at the moment is on the first third of the resort on the left hand side. You'll see there with the numbers of the lifts. So there the lifts are numbered to make it easier to find yourself a way around the resort. There are some, like Japan, many of the runs are also quite short, but then there's also the big long runs taking you to one of the three main areas. There is a bit of traversing you have to do in order to get between the areas, but it's not too bad, especially once you've spent a morning or an afternoon skiing around the resort. It does make it quite quick. I liked Zhao Onsen as it was quite compact and close together. The villages, you did have a long walk if you wanted to go from the bus station up to where I was staying at the left hand base village, but I'd stayed at a sailor hut, which was nice, cheap lodging in a dorm style, quite high building, really good staff, and yeah, it was nice to be so close from the slopes, about 50 meters to the actual chair and bubble, or about a meter from the steps to the snow. So nice to finish the day and just get straight inside. They had their own onsen, well, modern onsen downstairs, which you could use, which was really nice, as one would expect in this part of Japan. What I did find interesting about Zhao Onsen is it was very smelly. So they've got lots of public baths in Japan, and because of that, they had a very strong smell of sulfur. So there was a shrine I went past on the way, which I did visit later on, and on the steps up to from the bottom, there was the smell was extraordinarily awful, coming from the sulfur. I did go to one of the sushi restaurants and try to get in 3 or 4 times, but no luck. I found out later that I can't make reservations because I'm only a single, and even if you turn up before at lunchtime or before opening, they'll already be full. So that's a shame there. I did eat at quite a few different places. The food was good, as expect. Quite a bit of westernized stuff there, as lots of visitors come from far afield to visit Zhao Onsen. But prices were quite reasonable, and there wasn't as much price gouging as you would expect in places like Apikogan, or later in this video series you're going to see at Hakuba, but not so many Australians or other Anglo-sphere countries, more Chinese and Japanese and other countries represented as well. But as you can see, with this part of the video, you can see that there is quite a bit of polling, but that is to be expected when it's not a resort that was designed together. It was separate and then joined together later. But overall, the skiing, great quality, and could well recommend it for a family or for single travellers. Plenty of accommodation options, and not too expensive, with great connections to places like Sendai where you can fly in. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for watching another Big Blues Explorations, and please stay tuned for the following couple of videos to do with Zero Onsen to see all the breadth of coverage that they have, from easy to very easy to the most difficult, some being hard mogul runs which were actually much harder than they looked from afar. Thank you very much again.